I get the chance to stand up here and bring out someone that I admire in this industry. She's going to just kill it on every single stage. So I don't think she's been on this stage yet, so it's time for her to kill it on this stage. She's been doing outstanding work here over the last few days. That comes as zero surprise. She's a pro 100% of the time. Please welcome once again to another stage, I think this completes her stage, Taylor Rooks and a bunch of the best women in sports that you can find at FanFest.
Can you hear me? How we feeling? Hello, hello. It is so good to see you. Are we enjoying day 2? All right, well, we have a lovely panel in store here for you. It is a stacked lineup. We are focusing, I love you too, baby. I don't know who said that, but I love you too. We are focusing on the strength, leadership, and heart that it takes to succeed in sports. These 6 women have each forged a unique path, from player to mom, from athlete to executive, and each journey intersects in really powerful ways. So let's get into it. This here is She's Got Game. Our panel comes with stories of championship glory, massive comebacks, activism, and leadership beyond the court. But these girls are powerhouses, so I need everybody on their feet. I'm gonna introduce them on one at a time. Let's do this. 2-time FIFA World Cup champion, 2-time Olympic gold medalist, United States women's national team legend, Miss Carli Lloyd. Next up, former Boston College lacrosse star and winner of the prestigious Dewarraton Award for Outstanding American College Lacrosse Player, Charlotte Lloyd. Next up, she is one of the brightest young stars in basketball, an absolutely dynamic standout at USC, both on and off the court. One of my favorite players, Juju Watkins. All right, next up, the champ is here. A sharp-shooting phenom and electrifying talent. Her tremendous play is carrying on the great women's basketball tradition at UConn, Azzi Fudd. Next, a gold medal-winning Olympian, a 4-time WNBA champ, 2-time MVP, and a Basketball Hall of Famer, a coach in both the pros and college level, and one of the greatest basketball players ever. Please welcome Cynthia Cooper. Next up, we've got a powerhouse sports manager and the guiding force behind NFL QB Jaden Daniels. As both his mother and advisor, she blends business savvy with maternal instincts, shaping one of football's rising stars. Please welcome my dear friend, Regina Jackson. All right, I promised you all a very powerhouse panel, and we got it. Thank you for standing. Thank you for that warm welcome. Now, ladies, this is She's Got Game. And to me, having game is about what makes you you. It's how you show up, what makes you stand out in your respective career or sport. So to set the table, I want everyone to say what they feel like their game has brought to the game. I'll start with you, Carli.
Geez, right out of the gate. Hi, everybody. Can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
What has your game brought to the game?
What has my game brought to the game? I think, for me personally, I've always tried to stay, be my most authentic self. And so I've done that from the start of my career to the end of my career and have stayed true to myself. So I think the biggest thing for me is just to show people that you can just embrace who you are.
We are all unique and all bring something different to the table, and I was proud to have been able to just stay really true to myself my entire career.
Yeah, I love that. What about you, Charlotte?
I would say same thing, being true to yourself, but also being unafraid to display your passion and your love for the sport at any level. Just showing how much you love it can inspire people, can bring people together, and that's what sports is all about.
Yeah. Juju and Azzi absolutely taking over the college game. But what is it about you both that has brought something unique to the game?
I have no idea. I think I'm pretty early on in my career, same as AZ probably, but I think like these two said, just being yourself. I think I've always preached that, and it's been very important to me in my career, so yeah.
To piggyback off that, I think that's an incredible answer, but also something for me has been, not letting my injuries define me, but embracing them and letting that be a part of my story and showing other people that when you go through an injury, no matter what level of injury, how severe it is, that you can come back and be better than that and kind of let that be a part of your story.
Two more. Cynthia, you're up.
Yeah, I think the commitment to the sport, commitment to winning championships and not just being a participant, but being someone out there that's going to go day in and day out and try to be great. Try to be the best version of yourself to lay a foundation for the next generation.
I love that. Regina?
So guys, my game is just beginning, and I'm here to create a lot of change for women in sports, women, mothers that want to support to a high level for the next generations to come.
Yeah. And we have some women on this panel that have had such amazing moments that help shape their sport, shape the next generation. Carli, I want to start with you. Scoring in the 2015 World Cup final completely changed the world perception of American soccer. How did that moment redefine you?
Well, it was an incredible moment. Obviously, winning a World Cup is every soccer player's dream. And, it changed my life completely on and off the field. Changed our team as well on and off the field. I think the biggest thing was, Fox Sports came in. It was the first time they had ever broadcast a World Cup. Still to this day, our final is the most watched World Cup game ever in the history of men and women, which is incredible. A lot of viewers. And it was pretty much, all the stars aligned. We had Fox Sports coming in. We had social media being prevalent. We hadn't won a World Cup in 16 years. So to win on that stage, it just catapulted our team to greater and greater heights. Myself, my agent was very busy after that game. A lot of calls, a lot of opportunities, and I had to take every ample opportunity that came my way for my future, because we were earning decent pay on the field, but off the field I was making more money that could set myself up for the future. So all stars aligned. It was incredible, and still to this day, it has just given our team and women's soccer just the greatest platform.
Such a catalyst for sure. Now, Miss Azzi Fudd, again, y'all know the champ is in the building with Azzi. UConn women's basketball, congratulations on that moment, Azzi. You returned from 2 ACL injuries that took a toll, I know, physically and mentally, but you made it to the mountaintop. How did you reframe that to really be the start of a comeback?
Thank you, first of all. And I think, honestly, the hardest thing for me both times throughout my ACL journey was the mental aspect, not necessarily the physical aspect. So I think finally talking to someone and embracing that side instead of just trying to tuck it away and I don't even know, tuck it away and try to ignore the fact that I was struggling so much mentally with that. So talking to someone, getting all of that out there definitely helped me play looser, play freer, and be a lot more comfortable with everything I was doing on the court.
I love that. So I need you all to know, Juju Watkins, like I said, is one of my favorite players. And when you are in downtown LA, if you look up, there's a huge mural of Juju's face with her Nike ad. It's such a superstar moment. What is that like for you, being in LA, seeing that moment, and just what it means for you and women's sports?
Yeah, I think it means a lot. I mean, being able to represent where I come from, it's really personal for me, and really a dream come true. So to be able to see that on my way to my apartment and stuff is really cool, and just a full circle moment.
Absolutely, and it has the words, "You can't win, so win." It's a really great campaign from Nike. Cynthia Cooper, the one and only, a foundational star in the WNBA's early days. She was the league's MVP for the first 2 seasons. You, of course, had played basketball all your life, but how was that chapter different for you?
Well, I will tell you, I had played in Italy for 10 years before the W came along. And so it was really important for me to lay a foundation. I knew that I wasn't just playing for myself, but I was playing for the future stars that wanted to have a place and needed to have a place to play in America and didn't have to go overseas to pursue their dreams. So probably about halfway through that first season, I started thinking about more legacy. Like, how do I want the American public, the world, to see Cynthia Cooper, the basketball player? And that's why I brought my A game every single night. And that starts with bringing your A game in every single practice. So, it's all about laying a foundation, giving back to the sport that you love, and creating a platform for these ladies to just soar.
Yeah. And speaking of laying the foundation, we have big USC energy up here.
Right on, Trout.
Between you and Juju, what do you see when you watch Juju Watkins play?
I think I see commitment. I see passion. I see hard work, all of the hard work that these young ladies have put into not just their game, but their teammates. They make other people better on the floor. And then they are now, starting at the beginning of their journey and their legacy. And you can see that they take it very, very seriously with every game I watch and with every practice that they attend, and they perform like they want to leave a legacy for the next generation.
I love that. Now, Miss Regina Jackson here, of course, she does it all on the business side. She is a manager, and she is the mom of one of the brightest young stars in the league, in Jaden Daniels. So what is it that you observed as a mother in the world of sports that really informed your approach to your son's development as an athlete?
So the biggest thing I would say is it's your circle. It's your circle of people. If you have people who aren't really hard workers or really taking it seriously, that affects your development. And so I've always made sure I surrounded Jaden with the elite, the best of the best. He has the mama mentality, and that's what you guys see every Sunday is because of his inner circle.
We have some Commanders fans in here, some Jaden Daniels fans.
Oh, yeah, Commander.
There we go.
Hey, don't boo, don't boo.
What does strength look like when it is your child that is under the national spotlight? And how do you show up for them when the entire world is watching?
So everybody knows I'm his biggest fan, #1 supporter, whether you like it or not. But for me, strength is making sure that he's in the moment, he's the best version of himself. And by doing so, I take a lot of the stuff off his plate to make sure that every day he goes and keeps the main thing the main thing.
So Charlotte North over here is one of the most creative scorers that lacrosse has seen. Before I did this panel, I was watching a video and she described a move. It was like fake jump shot, up the hash, fake between the legs, over the shoulder. It was absolutely insane. When you are as great as you are, Charlotte, do you ever surprise yourself with these moves?
No, I think, you're constantly in pursuit of something. It's a goal. It's something you're trying to achieve that you haven't before. Right now, playing professionally, trying to grow the game, get the game in front of more people, and playing for Team USA, too, trying to go chase a gold medal. We're in the Olympics for the first time in 2028 for the sport of lacrosse. And so
give it up for that.
There are
2028. And speaking of foundational, your shooting style completely changed the way that girls train and develop. What led you to have your own style that broke the mold?
Yeah, I think it goes back to the first question of, what you want your legacy to be and how you want to be in sports. And I think it's about being yourself and staying true to why you love the game and not being afraid to show your passion, even if it's uncomfortable or there are haters out there. Like, you got to embrace that and understand that you can wear your heart on your sleeve and you can do things your own way because you care about it and it's for the greater good of the sport. So I've been lucky to be in the position that I'm in and excited for what's to come.
I love that. Azzi, you are a hell of a shooter, of course, but you can really do it all. What part of your game came the most naturally, and what part of your game did you have to work the hardest on?
I want to say shooting came the most naturally, but that's something that I worked on a lot when I was younger, and I credit that to my parents. They were my coaches, and I remember we took a whole summer just to fix my shot, and I think just them instilling the work ethic that I have now and how important all the basics and every single detail is what now, like, my shot is now natural. It's muscle memory because of all that hard work I put in when I was younger. But something that's hard for me and that I really have to work on this year is definitely my leadership and my vocal leadership. And so that's going to be my biggest challenge going forward.
What did you just learn about yourself throughout the journey of this season, making it all the way to the mountaintop?
I think I just reminded myself of my resilience and how strong I really am. I think sometimes as an athlete, like when you're in the grind so much, you kind of like overlook how amazing you are and how like just how strong you are mentally, physically, all the above. So I think this year was a reminder of that, and postseason I finally got to take that step back, take that breath, and kind of remember that.
For sure. You know, for both you and Juju, you all came into the spotlight really early with massive expectations. How have you protected your love of the game through the pressure?
For me, it's the people around me, the people I surround myself with. So my family, my teammates, I think they make it super easy to make sure that I'm having fun. And as much as winning is the goal and getting better, but as long as I'm having fun while doing it, it makes everything so much more enjoyable. And also staying present. So I think having that circle around you and staying present and enjoying the journey and not just, being so tough on yourself those have been my priorities.
Juju, what about you?
Yeah, I agree with everything Azzi said. I think also just having a true love for the game. I think that makes everything easier. I've always grown up loving the game. So no matter what I go through or what's the task at hand, I've always had that natural love for the game.
Carli, I wish I could hear you because I've been such a fan of your career arc, and I think that this question is so incredibly important. Because Carli has been really outspoken on issues from pay equity to performance standards. Has being that vocal ever felt more like pressure than power, or do you gain a lot from that?
No, I mean, I think that it's, sort of one of those things where you've got to pay it forward to the next generation. And so the players and the generation of players that came before me and before my teammates, they paved the way for us. When I first came onto the team in 2005, there were no health benefits, pregnancy leave, guaranteed contracts. So the Mia Hamms of the world, Julie Foudy, Michelle Akers, they were fighting for all of that. And so in 2006, we had pregnancy leave, we had health benefits, we had guaranteed contracts. But the work didn't stop, right? We continued to be successful. 2015, we win that World Cup after not having won since the 99 World Cup. And we were just kind of seeing the discrepancies that, how the men were traveling, what the men were getting. And we suddenly said to ourselves, we deserve more. We shouldn't have to play more games and play a victory tour after we've already won an event. That victory tour gave us more income, but we had already won. So we started to really come together as a team. And in 2015 was the moment where we started to kind of file an EEOC complaint. And, it was 6 long years of kind of fighting with our employer while having to go out and play. But it wasn't necessarily for us in that moment, but like everybody's been saying up here, it's for that next generation. And so we paved the way. This generation that's playing now is going to continue to fight for those standards. I unfortunately don't think the work has stopped here. We're going to have to continue to fight, but hopefully we get to a point where, it's not a huge discrepancy. But I'm really proud of our team and the fight and sticking together because you're only as good as the one unit that you can, be extremely strong with. So it was a long, hard-fought battle, but we succeeded in the end.
And certainly still a long way to go, but thank you so much for your contribution and leadership that you brought in that moment that we continue to see. Please give it up for Carli Lloyd. She has been such a trailblazer and pioneer in this space. And the same thing goes for Cynthia Cooper. When did you realize, Cynthia, that your name and your story was more than just stats?
Well, I think I'm still realizing that. I think, when you go in and you give it your all, I grew up in the inner city. So I grew up in Watts. I grew up in the projects. And I really didn't have a lot of examples to tell me what I could do and show me the correct path. I knew that sports could get me to further my education. And so I started with track and went to basketball, fell in love with basketball. And I think when you start looking at legacy and you start looking at what you want people to think of you, for me, I've always wanted people to know that whatever you think I've accomplished, you can accomplish more. Like whatever I did, you can do it all, right? I'm supposed to leave you in a better place than I started. I think that's the number one goal for me, that it's always been that way. And every time I stepped on the court, it was about hard work, and it was about performing. It was about making sure that every person that saw me play fell in love with women's basketball. That was my goal.
Yeah, and you certainly accomplished that. Please, yes, Cynthia Cooper. Charlotte, there feels like such a direct through line between your play and the eyes that have come onto lacrosse. How do you feel that, and how much pride do you take in that?
Yeah, I think it's like what Carli said. It's about paying it forward and making it better for the next generation. So while lacrosse is now on national TV and it's growing in other countries, and like I mentioned, we're in the Olympics for the first time, there's still a lot of work to be done, and there's a lot of uphill climbs that we have left to get to where we want to be, especially in the professional game. But it is growing, and it makes me happy to see more girls across the country and boys picking up a stick at an early age. And it's traditionally an East Coast sport, but it's growing throughout North America. It's growing throughout the globe. So it's been really cool to see, but we're not done fighting, and we're excited to see what comes next.
I love that. All right, so we have some different generations here, so we're going to open it up to some perspectives. I'm going to start here with you, Regina, about the impact of social media on sports and athletes generally. How do you navigate social media when it comes to yourself, but also with your son?
I got to be politically correct. So first off, guys, we cannot believe everything we see, okay?
Hey, say that again. Say that one more time.
We cannot believe everything we see. And I'm going to say it for the third time, okay? Do not believe everything you see. Everybody in the world of social media right now is clickbait. I hate to say it, it's the truth. So they take things because they know you guys are going to go with it. That is not the truth. That is not what we are, who we are, and what we stand on or what we believe, okay? There are a lot of people that get scrutinized because of things that are totally misinterpreted. And I think the world needs to kind of take a step back and look at the foundation and what the people truly are. Guys, I'm a mother first and foremost, okay? But outside of being a mother, I am a person who is highly educated. I still currently work my full-time job on top of having a full-time Jaden, okay? So my thing is I am here, like we said, to pave the way. I'm going to shout out Nicole Lynn, great woman agent. But let me tell you one thing, guys. We women are here, and we are going to take it to the next level. And I want social media to start embracing this instead of wanting to down us, okay? Women are the backbone of every man in this room. So why don't we start utilizing that platform and taking it to the next level and actually respecting us and welcoming us?
I love that answer, and she's absolutely right. Women are the engine, and whenever we talk about, oh, this is women's sports, no, women are sports. It isn't separate. Everything that you see, there is almost always a woman behind it. So I love that answer. For you, Juju and Azzi, social media obviously has been really great. It helps your exposure. It helps you connect to your fans. What are some things that you love about social media and some things that if you could change, you would?
I think just like the trolls. I mean, I think sometimes it gets out of hand, and I think it's important, like, as users of social media, that we still have that empathy for people. I think a lot of the time we forget, people are humans and make mistakes and whatnot. So it's really important that we recognize that and just be more kind to one another.
Yeah. And treat people how you want to be treated. That's my mantra. What about you, Azzi?
I love that I get to choose what I share on social media, and I get to show people who may only know Azzi the basketball player, Azzi outside of basketball. But I do agree with what Juju said, and sometimes it's that, like, you go out in public, people are always watching, people are always recording, so sometimes you feel like you can't really be yourself. You gotta, like, tone it down because you don't know if there's a camera there, or who's gonna post what, or where it's gonna go, who's gonna see it. So I think having to be a little more reserved outside, like, people need to remember that we're also, like, college kids. We wanna have fun, we wanna live our lives, but having to be reserved and hold back because of social media.
And that everybody is absolutely human. Absolutely, I love that. You touched on this a little bit, Regina, but how have you dealt with maybe being underestimated, being put into a box? How do you overcome that, especially when what you're fighting for is something so deeply close to you?
I would say first and foremost, I have to stay true to myself, and I have to be myself. And with that, that allows me to navigate and have a clear head of the things that I need to align and better off and help my son for the next level, the next, all his other things that he has going on.
Carli, as you talk about, the next generation, what is something that you want younger athletes to know right now that maybe you didn't realize until much later?
I think the biggest thing, so I've run my own soccer clinics, and it's an hour and a half, 2-hour clinic. And when I always speak to the parents, but I always tell the parents, I'm not here to make your child a professional soccer player. That's just absolutely impossible. And the percentage is so small where players and kids actually make it to the professional level. So if I can help to inspire these kids to be good human beings, that's first and foremost my job. Sport, I think, is just an incredible platform to be associated with, whether you're going to go on and play in college or not, whether you have aspirations of playing professional or not. The whole idea of sport teaches you so many life lessons that are so important for later on in life. When you become an adult, when you have to learn how to respect your coach, which then translates to respecting your boss. When you have to learn how to work hard, you got to work hard in your job and being diligent and consistent, and all of those things, being able to persevere through challenging situations. So I think the biggest mark that I'm going to say that parents are missing these days is they want their child to make it to the professional level, get that full scholarship, but you're actually missing the boat to teach them to be good human beings. And that should be your utmost number one thing that you should be focusing on. And so that's what I try to do, empower kids to want to believe in themselves, have that self-belief, especially with young girls. I think that I struggled with that. You're worried about, being popular, and you're worrying about all these things that really don't matter until you become older, and then you say, why did I worry about that stuff? But it's about that self-belief. It's about, embracing who you are, being the best version of yourself, but trying to be a good human being. And I think that we need more of that out there.
Yeah, it all starts with that. Charlotte, I have a friend who was trying to get her little sister to start playing sports. She tried basketball, she didn't love it. She tried softball, she didn't love it. They had tried lacrosse, and she loved it instantly. And it's funny because there really are so many parallels between basketball and lacrosse. But what makes it such a special sport, and how would you encourage parents to let their kids try it out?
Yeah, I think you're spot on. It's a combination of many sports. It requires a lot of athleticism. It requires hand-eye coordination, but it is a mix of a lot of sports. And I grew up playing basketball. That was my dream, was to do what these girls are doing. But I learned when I picked up a lacrosse stick that you could combine all of that and you could create your own style to your game. And that was my favorite part, and that's why I fell in love with the game. And it can be hard to go out to a field or a turf and find a lacrosse net to be able to shoot on, because sometimes that's rare. There are basketball hoops and soccer nets all over, but it can be hard to find and access the sport of lacrosse. But that's, as professional players right now, that's what we're trying to change, is making the sport more accessible, being out in front of these younger players more to show them what it looks like to play the sport at the highest level, and to get more sticks in kids' hands and donate equipment and get out in the community like today and beyond to be able to show them what the sport looks like, because it's incredibly fast, it's fun, and if you like soccer, if you like hockey, if you like basketball, it has a little bit of everything. And that's why I fell in love with it, and that's what we hope to share with the world.
Yeah, I'm telling y'all, give it up for Charlotte North. She is electric. You gotta look her up. She is amazing. Cynthia, for you, as a coach and a mentor, how do you, similar to what Carli was saying, how do you translate a championship mindset in life and in basketball?
Well, I think it starts with work ethic. I think it starts with the effort you're willing to put into anything that you want to be great at. That you're not just comfortable being good or just being a participant when you choose to be great. And it starts with doing it every day, so that it becomes something that you've learned, and it comes natural. You don't have to go find the energy to be great today. You wake up, and you have a path to start being great every single day. It's a mentality, it's a work ethic. What I tell kids is, there are two types of people that go on the basketball court. One is the predator and one is the prey.
Ooh, come on.
Who are you trying to be today, right? So, that's kind of what I apply to everything. And when I teach kids, I teach them about being great in everything you do, right? So you might not be a pro player, but you could be the best executive, marketing person. My daughter graduated in physics, shout out to Cyan, physics, summa cum laude, 397. I was looking for the teacher that gave her an A-. Anyway, she's getting her master's in mechanical engineering. She's, I have boy-girl twins. My point is, when she brought home a 97, I asked her, could she get 100? And she said, yes. I said, well, bring me that home, right? It's the standard you set.
I love that. Juju and Azzi, I have to ask, what it is like for you all to be in this room with a basketball legend like Cynthia Cooper, just soaking in that knowledge from, a pioneer before you.
It's incredible, and just to hear what you're saying right now, being able to soak this all in, I think is amazing. I wish I had a notepad to take notes. But I also want to thank you for everything that you've done for us, the way that you've kind of set the tone, paved the way, and made all the things that we're doing now possible. So thank you.
That's amazing.
Can I add to that? Yeah. I've been a huge fan of Cynthia's for a long time. One of the reasons why I went to SC as well. So definitely one of my role models growing up, and to see her today and be on the same panel, it's surreal. So, yeah.
Yeah, this is a moment I love. The past and the present, real stars up here. I love that. Yeah, we got some fans over there. Now, Azzi, I know that mental health advocacy has been huge for you. What strength have you found in being honest and talking about your journey and encouraging others to do the same?
I think that it's just helped me so much. I wasn't really prepared I was kind of hesitant to talk to someone. And when I did, I wasn't prepared for how much it was going to help me. So I think that everyone should do it, take that next step. And I don't know. I don't know if I was felt embarrassed to do it, to take that step. I'm not sure, but I think that everyone should. And I think also the notes and the messages that I've received from fans telling me how much that I've helped them, and not only their sport careers or lives, but also just in general, and saying that watching me, seeing me come back from injuries and recover has been so inspiring to them. I think that's gone so far for me. So to see like the way that I can help people, the way that someone's been able to help me, like I just want everyone to be able to do their best, feel their best, and perform. And it doesn't have to be in a sport, whether it's in work, whether it's the classroom, whatever it is. I feel like everyone should feel their best and be able to play their A game.
No, I love the work that Azzi is doing there. Juju, I cannot wait to see you back on the court. The game is better when you are out there. I am wishing you the healthiest recovery. But when you hear Azzi talk, do you feel this element of just sisterhood and somebody that has been through it and there to support? What is that like?
Yes, for sure. I never realized until I got injured that there's a whole like ACL community. So it's been just great to hear from Azzi, Paige, people who went through this process, and just to get so much love from everybody. Like Azzi said, those letters from fans, they mean the world. So to just see this element of, like you said, sisterhood, it's amazing, and I feel so supported and ready to kind of experience this.
No, I love that they are there for you, and I know that everybody in here is also there for Juju and excited to see her back out there. So the women up here wear so many hats, and Carli, post-retirement, you have dipped into broadcasting. I love watching you on screen. What's an important story that you're passionate about telling right now?
No particular story. So basically, for the last several summers since I've retired, I've been covering Men's World Cup, Women's World Cup, Copa America. In actually a week, I'll be going out to LA for the month and covering the Women's European Championships. And I would say the biggest thing that I've learned is this was not something that was on my bingo card to do after I was done playing. But I kind of got pushed a little bit, and I tried it out. I liked it. The Fox Sports team is great people to work with, which I think really matters. But the biggest thing is, not trying to be somebody I'm not. And I didn't do that throughout my career. I was unapologetically me throughout my entire career. And so into the broadcasting space, it's the same similar themes. It's, being prepared, working hard, asking questions, learning from other people that you're on the desk with. But I think the biggest thing for me is being honest. People want to see honest criticism. And at times I have to offer that criticism. And oftentimes I have to give people an insight into maybe what the athlete or the player is thinking as well. But I've not been afraid to say what I think and feel. It's not always the popular choice. But I've never been somebody that wants to say what everybody thinks you should say. And so that, for me, has been something that has come easy for me because it's unapologetically me. So I've been having some fun with it. I'm enjoying it. It's a busy summer. We've got the Men's World Cup that I'll be covering next summer as well. So, I just love to be able to kind of talk about athlete stories, share, their personal things that they're maybe going through. But it's been a really amazing experience so far.
Amazing. No, you're shining in it. I love to see it. Regina, what's next for you? What do you want people to better understand about the management relationship as we move forward?
That's a good question. Well, first and foremost, I'm going to take my son to be one of the highest paid quarterbacks in that year. I can't say the highest paid because we keep leveling up, and I'm going to make sure he's one of the highest paid quarterbacks. After that, I'll probably start representing players.
Come on. Agent Regina.
Right now I'm looking to start a creative company that works with all his brands, that facilitates a lot of the stuff that, works best for him. Open up a couple more businesses. We have the Jaden Daniels Foundation that I manage and oversee on top of everything else. But I know the main thing is will I at one point represent players? And I think so after I complete my job that I currently have. I think at some point I will start representing players.
I'm excited to see what's next. I love that. All right, to close this out, we're going to do 2 rapid-fire questions. Everyone answers both. We ready? All right. I'm going to start with Carli, and everyone answer this one. What pro athlete did you watch growing up that most inspired where you are right now?
I would have to say Michelle Akers. She also wore the number 10. I was grateful and blessed enough to wear the number 10 the second half of my career, but she was a beast. She was amazing.
Love that. Charlotte?
I'd say Abby Wambach, Carli, and Megan Rapinoe, in the way that they were unapologetically themselves, passionate, and fought for equity.
Yeah, great names. Juju?
Yeah, I'm gonna say Candace Parker. I was a big Sparks fan growing up, so I got to watch her a lot.
I actually didn't watch much basketball growing up, but I grew up around it. So I would say all of the teams and players that my parents coached, they were all of my big sisters, big brothers, and they definitely got me to start wanting to play the sport.
I would say Lynette Woodard, first female to be on the Harlem Globetrotters, and she had a really complete game, and I wanted to have a complete basketball game.
And I got to say, may he rest in peace, but I got to give it up to Mr. Mamba. He helped pave the mindset that is needed in these sports, in this world, to keep us going and always striving to be the best.
All right, and last question, and I'll start with you and go down. Finish this sentence. The game has given me.
I would say the game has given me hope.
I love that. Amazing.
I would say the game has given me confidence.
Can you come back
Lights
to me?
are
That
bright,
was
AZ.
mine.
We'll circle back to AC. Juju, you're up.
I think the game is giving me patience.
I would say passion and lifelong relationships.
The game has given me all the tools that I need to thrive in life.
Close us out.
Oh my God.
AZ.
Oh, I shouldn't have asked for it to go last. Oh man. I don't know.
Well, I know one thing. The game's giving you championships. I know that. You'll go with that?
I like that. The
I
game
like
has given me championships.
I love it. Please give it up for this powerhouse panel. Thank you all so much for being here, and thank you all for your time. Have fun today.